Good morning. Welcome to the NWI, where we practice networking with integrity and we make networking work. My name is Annette Walters, and I am a corporate and entrepreneurial sales and marketing veteran. Since college, I have participated in business networking to promote products, find a job, as well as grow my own businesses. Networking for me has been wildly successful, opening many doors and driving business. At the same time, though, networking has wasted more of my time and money than I really want to admit. And as well, it has made me feel used and potentially manipulated along the way. I didn't understand the rules, and I didn't know I could actually take control. So, what made my networking experience swing from one side to the other? Well, that is why we are here in the NWI circle, where we learn to take control of our experience, we network with integrity, and we finally make networking work. Today we are talking about when I thought about this, what makes networking so hard, why people hate networking, what came to mind for me was the high school lunchroom. I was never the popular kid. And if my friend or friends were out of school for one reason or the other, entering that lunchroom was awful. I felt like I was going to crawl out of my skin because I felt so self-conscious. I didn't know where to sit, and if I happened to sit next to somebody, I didn't know what to say, and I spent most of my time trying to avoid eye contact with just about anybody. I've walked into networking situations that way as well. I've had a long career, and when you're starting up with new groups, especially if they have kind of, I don't even know what kind of feel I can tell you, but you walk in and it's just that instant sense of being uncomfortable. Being there alone just is so hard. And so I think that is where it starts, that we get that feeling that, God, I hate networking. And I just wish it was different, but I need to be here. For some of you, it may be because your boss told you that you should be there. Or for me and my entrepreneurial journey, when it got hard, it was like, yeah, but this is good for my business. Yeah, but this is good for my business. That mantra did not help much, but I did stay. So why is it that we just have so much trouble with networking? And I have a little bit of a list here. Um, Sometimes when we walk in and say we've been there before, we forget people's names. We don't know what to say, which we've covered earlier in this week. When we walk in, like the high school lunchroom, maybe we don't have anybody to talk to. And to look at all the groups and looking around, you're like, uh, do I even brave any of them? The other thing is not being prepared. Not being prepared while you're in person or knowing how to follow up afterwards. The follow-up is something that I dive deep into coaching with my clients, because follow-up is where the rubber meets the road, as they say. We can meet people and have wonderful conversations, but if we don't follow up, that also creates the challenges that we have walking back into those rooms. And the main emotion that follows all of these things typically is embarrassment. Embarrassment will help us to hide our faces or maybe sit in the parking lot longer than we possibly should so that we can go on as the program starts. But of course, that defeats the purpose of networking, which is to meet people, tell them what you're about, and when the opportunity presents itself and when you've learned enough about them, offer to help. So if we are in the midst of embarrassment, of course we don't want to go. Of course we don't want to be part of this, because when we are in these networking situations, that will drive us to basically hesitate. Now, the other reasons why networking or I want to back up. Besides embarrassment, there are other things that we can feel while the situation or while the networking meeting is going on. And I think you'll relate to all, if not many of these. So, again, we've got our high tech again. We walk into a networking meeting and say, "This feels," pick your word, manipulative, selfish, there's embarrassing, clicky. We've already judged it to they don't want us here. So we don't have any sense of belonging. And I know that it is not literally dangerous, but if you find yourself in a state of fight or freeze or flight, so you just cannot wait to get out of there, that is when your body has registered this place as not good for you and that it's trying to protect you. And that's how come that feeling comes up. It's like, we got to do something different and it's not here. And so when all of these things are going on, how do you think your ability to network is going? Probably not very well. It leads to a lot of distraction, of a lot of distracting thoughts. What are they going to think about me? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I make a bad first impression? All of these things seem so very real in the moment, but frankly, they're not helpful. We're there for a reason. We're there to develop relationships and move the needle forward on our business, on our job search, maybe on an employee search. But when we're in that state, that wall that I was talking about yesterday that we build, keeps us from communicating well with other people and really opening ourselves up to hear who they are and what they have and what they are about on the other side. So, excuse me, as you work on the feels, let's talk about something really quick because there are two things that can really help you in this situation or circumstances when those feels come up. Even if it feels, icky or embarrassing. What if in that moment you said to yourself or you asked yourself, "How is this okay?" Now you might be saying, "Annette, that's crazy. How in the world could me feeling like this be okay?" I'm telling you, there's a way to do this. This is part of how those life coaching skills transformed my sales and marketing abilities because I was able to sit with some of those emotions and allow them to be. I was I was taught how to ask the question, "How is this okay?" And when you step out of yourself and you say, "Okay, how is it right or okay that I'm embarrassed?" And if you turn that around and go, "Why would I be embarrassed?" And you think, "Well, it's because I kind of tripped over my words in that last conversation." Or I really don't know anybody and it does make me feel uncomfortable to be here. Straight up acknowledging that to yourself is the first step in lowering the temperature of those emotions. I hope that you take that and even though it might make the gears in your brain kind of grind this morning, take that information and just consider it. What if that were true? What if it were true that if I acknowledge how I'm feeling in this moment, that it can make it a better experience in this moment? I'm not saying that it'll make it go away, but what if it took the temperature down a notch? If you are bound and determined to stay, you want to be there being the best that you can be in that moment. None of us will ever be perfect. We are always a work in progress when it comes to these situations, especially when you're in a new environment or you're talking to people that you have never talked to before. How could you possibly have a perfect conversation or ask that perfect question? It just can't happen because you don't know the situation and you don't know the people. So, when we get back to how is this okay? It's okay because we are truly doing the best we can when we slow down, we take the temperature down, and we try to show up as our best selves in that moment. Now, the second thing that can take the temperature down when those emotions are raging is that, let's say you did have, kind of an awkward conversation. The next question to ask yourself is, what can I learn? What can I learn about me? What can I learn about this, the situation, this group, this environment, maybe? Maybe maybe it's like Texas in August and you're outside and you're just getting overheated, and that's just raising the temperature on your emotional side as well. Or what can I learn about them? Remember, we're taking down that wall and we're opening it up so that there can be a flow of information both directions. When we ask this question, what can I learn? What happens is that we get out of our own head and almost become an observer to what is going on. We take a look at the room, consider the conversations, and give ourselves permission to pause. In coaching with me, I use that quite a bit. We're going to take a pause here. And what we do is that we step out and then we take a look around. What is here? What is real? What is what could we perceive differently, if you will? That sense of belonging that I talked about before, the belonging could be as simple as you have a membership to this organization. And finding people to talk to is just the next step. And a lot of people, once they spend the money, they're like, yeah, I belong here. I should be here. Now I'm going to figure it out. Other people need to make a connection. And then we work through how to do that. But through this, what you want to do is that when those high negative emotions that will drive a fight, flight, or freeze response bubble up, you want to have the tools in your quiver to take the temperature down so that you don't actually act out and say something out of nervousness that is super challenging to come back from. You can always come back from it. Or you run away. You literally go, oh, I'm done. I'm out of here. And you miss out on your opportunity, maybe to be introduced to somebody or to have that casual conversation as you're picking up a snack. I hope these two questions help you. So when the feels come up, all of the feels, as I like to call them, that you go, oh, yeah, there you are. How can I bring the temperature down? And you can do it two ways. Just ask yourself two questions. Quiet yourself. How is this okay? How is this exactly as it should be? And then the second thing is that now that you observe everything, what can I learn? What can I learn about me? What can I learn about this? And what can I learn about them? I hope that truly helps you today as you walk through your networking the end of this week and into next week. If you have any questions about this, I encourage you to contact me at contact@thenwi.com. You can also visit the website, thenwi.com, which NWI stands for Networking with Integrity. And the last thing I will let you know is that I have a brand new worksheet that I'm releasing next week, along with a video. This is called the 3 Best Networking Questions. You are going to see which networking questions work well in every networking situation and how to adapt them to who you are and make them your own. So if you would like that, also just quickly email me at contact@thenwi.com, and I will get that out to you late next week. I hope you have a wonderful day. Again, my name is Annette Walters. I am with Networking with Integrity, the place where we make networking work. I hope you have a wonderful day and get out there, network well, because this is where networking works.